gentlemen, your host for tonight's show.
Here, I'll break it over your. I'll break it over your head.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You're a real crumb bum.
See, these guys are all the same.
With filthy mouths and bad attitudes.
The Crumb Show.
Got
Jesus Christ.
you. You said, give me your mic.
First time doing this, man?
What do you need my mic for? Got you.
And that's how we're starting this week's episode. We got our boy Andrew G here. Open mic Soul Joel's every week. Killing it, practicing his craft.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it, guys.
Right on.
This is awesome.
Absolutely. Yep. And of course, Chris Reynolds.
Of course.
And I'm Jesse Marchese. But yeah, man, thanks for coming down. Thanks for bringing the surf sides.
Yeah,
Shout out
sure,
surf
man.
sides. Stateside
Cheers.
Vodka.
Thanks for having me
Cheers.
on. The
All
Phils,
right. Yeah, go Phils.
1-1 right now. At least that's what it was.
Right.
We'll see what happens.
I only drink manly drinks.
Monster.
Yeah, no, I got into these, unfortunately, from the open mics just because they're so friggin' good. And
No, they are.
they go down easy.
I heard that.
Yeah, they do.
They go down
They
with
do. It's crazy.
So, but yeah, no, I mean, I've always been a fan of comedy. Grew up, watching SNL. Like, that was my thing.
Yeah.
You know, if I was, like, going to sleep, I'd be like, wake me up when SNL comes on. And my parents would not be able to wake me up because I slept like a bear, basically. But,
Right.
you know, it was one of those things where I wanted to get up. Farley was my dude, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
loved Chris Farley, Sandler. And always wanted to get into it. But always was afraid to. And, recently was laid off earlier this year. Gave me a bunch of time off. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden I started watching Kill Tony a little bit last year. That's really, you start to see people go on stage and bomb. And, you kind of, you get the courage up to be like, you know what, if these guys can do it, like I can do it, right?
Right.
So I got up there, started to go into the open mics at Soul Joel's, met you guys, and been having a blast ever since. And it's once you start doing it, it's hard to stop. you know?
Yeah, it's true. You get that. How do you feel like you did your first time? Do you feel like you did pretty good?
I think it went pretty well because I had jokes that I wanted to do forever. It was like
Right.
those few jokes that I was like, you know what? If I ever do it, I'm gonna do this, 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 and this, and I think it'll be pretty good. And it did go pretty good. And then I went up the second time and I was humbled, because then I didn't really have anything.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? Let me try it again. Tried to write a whole brand new set for the week, and that's when I bombed.
Right.
The first bombing is you got to get it out of the way, and it's humbling. It's a humbling experience.
Well, that's what I was getting at. The first time you do it, if you get one laugh, I think that amount of adrenaline and dopamine is like, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
You know who my first laugh was? And this is crazy.
Who?
Steve McLaughlin.
Oh, yeah, man.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Steve McLaughlin.
Real quick, it was a guy that used to come. He did the open mics, and he was a big fan of the show. He was a good guy. Passed away.
Yeah, we don't know any detail. I didn't hear any details.
Just say
yet.
rest in peace.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
We don't know why, but it don't matter. He was too young.
Yeah, I know he was doing the open
But
mic.
I remember his laugh specifically.
He had a great laugh.
He had a laugh.
He had a
you could
great
tell.
laugh.
So, and that my first time ever being there. He was the only one I think that laughed.
Yeah.
You
He probably
appreciate
was.
those people. You appreciate those laughs.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we got a couple people. They come to the shows pretty consistently, and I feel like I never hear
Jeremy
them laugh, and I get a little worried.
Shout out Jeremy Wilcox. He's with his dad.
Oh, yeah, Jeremy
Yeah,
Wilcox
those are-
and his dad. Yeah, shout out, man. They're diehards. They're
Yeah.
probably there more than we are.
Good dudes, good dudes.
Yeah.
I feel like they're a good gauge if I can make those guys laugh because they're at every show. I crack them every now and again. I feel like, but I feel like they're tough. They're tough to get.
Yeah.
But they appreciate us though. They come to me and they say, you got a solid set. They expect this. Mostly like expect. They know what we're gonna say. They've heard it a million times, but they seem to enjoy it. And they actually don't like it if people don't do the full time. They're there to see
They want 5.
Oh,
they want to see
'cause,
5.
Like a lot. Sometimes people. There was like a time when like a bunch of people only did like 3 minutes, 2 minutes. And they were like, what are they doing? Like, we're not getting 5 minutes. I'm like, that's what they got. That's what they got. Would you rather them go up there and just be like,
right?
Yeah.
Go out on top.
Yeah, I try to end on a high note. I feel like I should have stopped early last week, or this week, I should say. But you live and you learn. I feel like sometimes you just kind of throw stuff out there because you're like, should I do this joke? And sometimes when you're like, all right, I only got 4 minutes, you're like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna do it anyway. And that's, it's sink or swim sometimes, but you got to learn what's good and what's hit and miss. So.
But I like their attitude though. They want to see some comedy. They're there to see comedy, so let's give them the comedy. You know?
Yeah. No, they're there to have a good time, and they come consistently every week, and I'm impressed by their dedication. I appreciate that. It's pretty cool.
I wonder if Jeremy has something building, like, if he's just perfecting, like, I'm going to watch open mics for like 6 months, and I'm going to write this killer 5, and I'm going to go up there, and I'm going to blow all these guys' heads off.
He just takes everybody's stuff.
Oh, man, don't say that.
He just comes up, he's like, wait, we recognize this. No.
That'd be hilarious.
That would actually be pretty funny if he came up for the first time and did that.
That'd be hilarious.
I do have a couple buddies. I'm trying to get them to come out. I've told them, like, hey, there's come out on Tuesday night, write some comedy. They're writing stuff. They're sending me jokes, and
that's cool.
They're like, hey, you should do this one, and I'm like, nope. Come on out. Like, that's your joke. Like, I'm not gonna do your joke. You know what I mean? And your joke is your joke. You know how to perform it. You know where to pause. You know what word to use. I'm not gonna do somebody else's joke.
I got a guy who I riff off of and helps me write some stuff, and I hear what you're saying, but like he won't do it. He refuses.
Yeah.
But yeah, he gets very upset if I don't do it exactly how he wants to word it. I'm like, no, I'm supposed to riff off of you. You're not writing jokes.
Right.
Yeah, well.
But he does. He's a good guy.
It's good to have somebody to riff off of.
Right.
Is that how you generally write, you guys? Is that?
I write by myself.
Do you?
And I don't bounce anything off of anybody.
I write
Okay.
some stuff myself, but like some stuff, like I only trust one person there, and then two people actually. One person like gave me, I was riffing off of, and then like my writing partner, if you will.
Tilt your mic up a little bit. I want to make sure I get all of this.
Yeah, writing partner, my buddy. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
But he won't go up. He refuses.
Really? Yeah, it's good to have people like that. They kind of they balance you out a little bit because they kind of know what's funny from an outside point of view. They've never been on the stage, but they can kind of respect from an audience perspective what they might think is funny. So it's good to take those premises and run with them. But yeah, I mean, that's why I'm not going to do somebody else's joke, because I'm not going to hit it the way they're going to want to hit it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just not going to be the same way. So
does anybody like in your family besides your wife know that you do comedy?
Yeah. I mean, both my brothers know about it at this point. They didn't know about it early on. It was kind of a trickle down effect once I started getting. I got an Instagram, got a YouTube set up, so check it out, andrewg.comedy. Once that happened, I think then they started to check out the videos. And I have a few friends where when I post something, initially I was just recording audio, and I would just play it back in the car, see where the laughter was, try to find the good stuff. But then I started recording stuff with video, and then that kind of changed the game for me, because I was like, you know what, I'm just going to put it out there, good or bad. People can take it or leave it. At least I have it documented. I know my jokes, and then what's good, I can take it later. I can go back, I can watch something from months and months and months ago, which is nice. So once that happened, I think that was a little bit of a game changer for me.
Yeah, I agree. How are you watching your stuff back? Does it make you cringe at all or anything?
In the beginning, it was like that, but now I've gotten to the point where I'm kind of comfortable seeing it. I like to see like kind of where people receive certain things, because I'll tell somebody a joke one week and then I'll do it the next week, right? So like they'll kind of get to see it in real time. So I'll shoot that video out to my buddies, just a handful of friends that I'm like, from high school. We don't really hang out or anything, but it's like, you know what? I want to get feedback from this person because I know they were funny, right? Like we used to have a good time and laugh, and we're still close enough where, we're in fantasy football together, or we're doing things from afar.
You're in contact.
People. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and it's those other guys that, I mentioned that I want to come. I tell them, hey, you know what? Come out and do it on a Tuesday night. You'll have a blast. And either way, good or bad, like at least you got the experience.
Yeah.
And you get better and better and better with a little bit of everything you do. So.
Yeah. That's what it's all about, just getting them reps.
Yeah.
It's weird. You think, like, I never thought it was really easy. And going back to how you said you got into it as Kill Tony, kind of, right?
Yeah.
I've told this on many podcasts before, but I've always been a fan of stand-up comedy. Mm-hmm. Never once ever contemplated of doing it. And then my son has, he was always into stand-up comedy, and then podcast started. He was into Kill Tony. So he may have went down one time, and then he heard they were coming back. Mm-hmm. So he said, I'm going to take you to Kill. I'm going to buy me, you, and Mom tickets. I'm going to take you to Kill Tony. I'm going to put you and Mom's name in the bucket. And you're going to go up. If they pick your name, you go up and do a minute of comedy. So I was like, you're crazy. You're nuts. I know it would never happen because he said he was going to buy the tickets. That's the butt of the punchline. But I said, let me check out Kill Tony, because I had just started listening to podcasts too. So I started like, this is why they said that. This is how you do that. This is why this other comedian said this that time. You know what I mean? Like processing it all. And kind of the same thing, like watching Kill Tony. You learn how to get into writing jokes and stuff,
Well, look at Hans Kim. He got to come up with a fresh minute every week. We got a fresh minute, 5 minutes. He's got to do a minute every week, and to keep his post.
Keep that on Kill Tony.
Well, he's been battling people have been trying to battle Hans Kim lately.
He's been bodying everybody.
He'll suck, right? And then they'll be like, well, I could beat you. And then when they actually have to battle him, he just blows him out of the water.
Right.
Yeah, the couple comics that he's gone up against, they're really good comics, and they have a really solid minute, and they kill it in the interview. And then when they come up against Hans, they kind of have the same minute, right? Like they don't have much more than what they kind of already unloaded their barrel at that point. You know what I mean? So, but Tony's the best. Like he's vicious. You know what I mean? And he puts people in their place. Like I can only imagine going up there trying to do a minute and being like, roasted. Like I know even if I had a decent minute, like I'm gonna get torn to bits. I mean, just the way I look. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be one of those humbling experiences once again. But yeah, I mean, Kill Tony is. I think that's changed the game, and I'm seeing stand-up comedy and open mics popping up like all over the place. It's really changed the game.
Would you do it if, like, just by happenstance, you were like, you can do it if you want?
Oh,
would you do it a minute?
Yeah, I would do it at this point. In the beginning, I probably would have had the confidence to do it, and I would have totally went up. Can we curse?
Yeah.
Shit the bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it would have been terrible. But now I think I have at least a minute where I would go up and like, all right, I know this joke gets laughs. But yeah, I would still get roasted.
Right.
But but Kill Tony. Who? I can't. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Like, who was that dude that had the show where he would watch people fail, like YouTube videos and stuff of people failing, and he would like give them a chance to redeem themselves.
Tosh.
Yeah. I think like he's like the new Tosh to me. People always accuse him of being gay.
Yeah.
That's the big joke about him.
Yeah. Super mean,
and
bitchy.
Super mean. Like, he's like, but I think he's better than Tosh.
When Tosh.0 came out, that was legit.
That was a
good show, man. Yeah. That was funny stuff. Yeah, Comedy Central isn't what it was either. Like that was another thing. Growing up, I used to watch all the Comedy Central specials as they came out. Like
Yeah.
Dane Cook and Tony Woods. Like, dude, Tony Woods for the first time, Nick Swartzen for the first time. Like, seeing those guys on Comedy Central, I mean, it was just, that's what I wanted to do. But, like, there was no direct path for that, right? Like, you can't go to college for that, right?
Right.
There's Second City. I considered doing, like, Second City at one point, but, you know, it's kind of one of those things where you go down that path where you're, like, kind of expected to go down, right? Like, you got to go to college. You got to get your degree.
Go to Chicago. You got to go. I think that's where it is.
That's where Second City.
Yeah, there's Chicago, and then there's one in Canada. That was Ontario or something.
That's
like that.
weird. There's Second City in Chicago.
Yeah.
The California is the Groundlings. Are they in California?
Is that where that is? I don't know much of the other improv groups, to be honest with you.
I was just saying, it's weird. There's no like big New York one.
But SCTV was the Canadian one, right?
That was a show.
Because like John Candy, Eugene Levy, all those Canadian dudes.
Yeah, that was a TV show.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I said Chicago, but I think some dudes were from Chicago, but did the SC, but they were on Saturday Night Live. That were in the Second City in Chicago. I think went to Saturday Night Live. I think Dan Aykroyd, is he Canadian?
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah.
He is Canadian because I heard a story. He's a bad motherfucker. He owned a bar, I think in New York, or it might have been in Canada. I'm not sure. But he used to ride a motorcycle back and forth.
Nice.
Like,
Well,
I think the bar was in New York, so they could all go there and drink.
You see his Skull vodka.
Yeah. I heard it's not that good.
I was on another podcast quite some time back actually with my buddy Dennis.
Right, yeah.
And he was talking about Philly natives, and technically I'm not Philly native, but Norristown is like Philadelphia area.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
We were drinking it.
Yeah, that was annoying me. He kept asking Chris about Philly, and Chris kept telling him, I'm from Norristown, but
We're all from Philly. I'm at this point like an hour from the city, but you know, you talk to anybody, you tell them you're from Philly. Right. This is what it is.
It's easier.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's Philly pride anyway.
Right. Exactly. Right now, go Phillies. I really want to check the score right now.
I'll check.
Do it.
Yeah, check the score. Phillies game.
See what's going on.
Right now we're we're
Game
not
3,
live,
Arizona.
So game 3.
2 games up.
We're going to
National
put this
League
out.
Championship Series.
This will come out on Monday night.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, Monday night. So by that, we'll be in the World Series.
There you go. I think, doesn't Aykroyd, he does the, there's a skull that's tequila too. I think it's called like Cave or something like that. I got the bottles. They're
I'm not
like,
sure if that's his.
They're
I know it's
painted, right?
it's another celebrity, I think, though, that puts it out. But yeah, they're painted. They used to be really pretty intricate. They kind of changed them, but
I know Sammy Hagar has Cabo Wabo tequila, the blue agave.
Yeah.
I love Cabo Wabo. I'm mad they changed the bottle though. They used to have one of the coolest bottles, the blue bottle, gold emblem. Now it's just, a wrap. That drives me nuts when they change that.
Right,
shit. Like,
right.
It's cheaper, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely cheaper, but you had an iconic bottle. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bums me out.
But that's the only.
Still 1-1 for the Phils anyway.
Still 1-1?
Yeah.
Well,
Top of the night.
I don't drink like that, so I just know from here. I'm cultured. I know I'm a worldly type guy. I know liquors.
You study alcohol.
I do.
You know what I like, guys? You know
I
what
got a bunch of it up there. I just look over here like, oh yeah.
You know what I really enjoy?
What's that?
Stateside vodka. Made in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
It says Surfside though.
That's true.
Surfside. Made with Stateside vodka.
Yeah, Surfside's the iced tea, but yes.
Yeah. Thanks for fucking my commercial up, Chris.
We're trying to get sponsored here.
Oh yeah.
You never disappoint me disappointing me.
Try it again. Take 2.
No.
Stateside vodka.
I got some
made with
sheets.
Surfside.
No, I'm
Nice.
butthurt. But yeah,
And Monster.
it's not brought to you by Monster. Get that bullshit out
Grab
of here.
it by the balls.
Get that out of here.
Deer Park, maybe.
But we are doing it in the middle of a show here, bro.
I thought this was a commercial break.
I'll take a piss real quick. No, I'm just playing.
Hey, Hey, we wouldn't be surprised. We used to have fats.
Yeah, I used to stand up and just go pee.
Oh, really? Like D Madness?
Yeah, like D man.
Did he have to be helped out?
Yeah. So when did you actually start? I remember you've been coming up there for a minute.
Yeah, I guess I started. I guess it was around April or so.
Okay.
Maybe May. Yeah, a little bit later on.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been a good half a year or so.
Right. Yeah.
And I definitely think it's you get better and better every time that you go up there. But at the same time, like you always know, like your next bomb is like just right around the corner.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like you're never clear forever. Like you're never just gonna like always have a perfect set moving forward. Like it's just not gonna happen. And I even hear like some of the big names, like you hear about Ron White when he was kind of coming back up, like and when people are testing out new stuff. I mean, just saw Norm Macdonald or not Norm Macdonald. Yeah, I wish. No, Mark Norman. We just saw him.
Right.
Soul Joel's, and I've heard stories about him bombing, and it's like you can't imagine these guys bombing because they're just so good at what they do. But you never know what audience you're going to get in front of, and you never know what night it's going to be. And it's if you're trying out a lot of new material, then it might just not go your way. And if the audience isn't on your side, you got to kind of come out and win them out in the first couple jokes, right? So, and I'm a little bit of like a dirty comic, right? Like I'm not always the cleanest guy. So coming out the gate, it's like you have to win them over before you drop the big, terrorist joke or the racial joke or something like that, right? So it's like, how do you win them over before you don't want to look like you're anti-trans or some shit like that.
Do what I do.
Yeah.
You tell them, I don't do it, and you do it anyway.
But those jokes are so good. I mean, they write themselves, people. Like, this world that we're in is just a fucking simulation anyway. So you might as well, have at it and enjoy it while you're here.
Yeah. What do you consider dirty? Like, when I'm writing jokes or when I'm looking at the shit I've already written, like, what do you consider dirty? Like, is it the subject matter or is it cursing?
Yeah.
Because you could talk about some dirty shit and just not use curses.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm a man child, so I still like watching cartoons. I got a couple young kids, so like watching SpongeBob, right? Like there's those jokes that are in there that like it's for the adults. It kind of like goes over the kids' heads. So like there's that stuff that you can get away with. Like I guess a Jay Yoder would be doing that, right? Like he can kind of, he's performing in front of kids and parents and stuff, and he can put that joke in there that the parent's gonna laugh at, that the kid's gonna laugh at too, because their parents laughing, but they don't really know what the hell they're laughing at. Right?
Like every Disney movie throws in like jokes like that.
Yeah,
parents would get, but the kid might just be like,
they're just grooming. That's a whole nother thing. But
yeah, Disney, right?
Bad example.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
But a lot of cartoons like movies do that. They throw in like for the parents because they know the parents have to probably sit through it.
Right.
A few adult oriented jokes like that.
Yeah, so there's that, and like I guess I have some jokes where like I can't really tone them down that much. I've tried to, like I have the one where I talk about like me and my wife tried out an escape room, right? I locked the door until I got what I wanted, and needless to say, she got out. So I can say something else instead of got what I wanted, right? I could make that pretty fucking dirty, right?
Right.
But instead I can tone it down and say got what I wanted. And then the joke is basically like I keep setting the timer. She waited out the clock, right? I invested in the fucking clock. I'm gonna use it, right?
Like she got out, but not alive.
Yeah, that can go.
Use that one.
Yeah, so and then there's just the dark stuff, which like I have dark stuff too. Like
right.
I have a Sound of Freedom joke, right? Like I have some stuff in there where like it kind of takes the.
That's who did it the one time. Remember that whole thing with the person with the Chris Stefano.
Yeah.
He was the guy. Go ahead, I'll tell you real quick.
No, I want to hear it. Go ahead.
No, real quick.
Hold on. Let me go check something real quick in case I have to cut out your story anyway.
Okay. No, real quick. Like, so we did an open mic. I was hosting. I think one of us was hosting. Either way. So, some lady was sent somebody an email about. They said something to the effect of. The first time was like, with the exception of Chris, something about like there was jokes about sex trafficking, and she was sex trafficked, and the jokes that were told brought her the people that kidnapped her and sex trafficked her. They brought it to light, and now they know where she is, and all this crazy stuff. And she's like, I know that. The jokes, it's jokes and all, but I'd appreciate if you don't do that. And we were like trying to figure out, like, I'm like, I know somebody said something about the Sound of Freedom, but I don't remember. I'm like, I don't. But and then we looked at the lady, and I'm like, I don't recognize that lady at all. I could pretty much tell you anybody that's coming in and out of there, I've seen, and she was not there. And it turns out that this lady was talking about a Chris Stefano Netflix.
Oh God, okay.
And it has nothing to do with us, nothing to do with anybody who had anything to do with anything.
I would have told her to shut the fucking get in my trunk.
But the only reason it was brought to our attention is because it was confusing at first, because my name was brought up, and I'm like, dude,
right.
I don't have sex traffic jokes. I don't have any, and I said I heard something about the Sound of Freedom possibly, but I was like, racking my brain to figure out what the hell.
Yeah.
But it wasn't had nothing to do. But it was all good. It was just funny that this person contacted about and it was a mix up, but it was a weird story.
Yeah,
That was a long story.
I've only done this.
I tried to stop.
I only did the Sound of Freedom joke the past couple weeks. It has not gone over very well the past couple weeks either. That one might have to be nixed. It's that's one of those jokes too, where it's like, I text it to my friend. I'm like, dude, I got this joke. It's fucking dark. You know what I mean? But it's funny, And then he's like, yeah, that's dark. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I love it. And I have to do it, And I did it on stage twice now. And I think, I don't know if it's going to work. It might be, maybe that's, if there is the dirty show or something like that where it's advertised as like, this is really some fucked up stuff you're going to hear, then I could maybe take the risk on that. But I think for the now, I kind of have to just scratch it. There's been a couple jokes like that now where I'm just like, you just can't do them again. Even though you love them, you can't do them.
That's the beauty of the open mic.
Yeah.
You can do that without nobody's paying you, so you can just be like, I'll try it, and if it don't work, I'll try it again.
Nobody's paying you?
You don't get paid?
Dude, you better talk to Joel. That was another joke I did the one week I thought was going to be funny. I'm like, hey, has anybody gotten paid? Joel hasn't paid me yet. I've been coming here for like months now. And everybody just like looked at me like, this guy's a fucking bozo.
On stage you did that? Or
yeah, I did that on stage. That was like my opener.
Okay.
Yeah, again, that again, it's like I was kind of appealing towards the comedians in the crowd, not really the people that weren't comedians.
Right.
And that can go one way or the other, but yeah, that one fell flat.
Yeah. That's what's hard about.
Can't all be winners.
That's what's hard about open mics that have a lot of comics and not a lot of audience members.
Yeah.
Like, because it's a hard judge. Because most of them guys are looking at their phone.
Yeah.
Worrying about their notes, worried about their set.
Yep.
And you're like, why isn't anybody laughing? Like,
yeah, and that's why I do try to go up a little bit earlier on, because if I am like, in my head, pacing back and forth, trying to, remember what I want to say, I like to be able to go up and then sit and enjoy everybody else's set. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
28 comics last week.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
That's a ton of people.
And a lot of them comics.
Yep.
Yeah. But, we had a few of those people are starting to get family to come, which is good. And then I guess some people were trickling in because the Phillies and stuff was going on, so that helps a little bit.
And people stay as long as they can.
Yeah,
like some people have to leave, whatever.
Yeah, and I watch the whole show, but again, the Phillies this week, I watched, once 8 o'clock hit, I was out the door. But
Yeah.
You were in the building still.
I was in the building. I came back at a point. I felt bad. I do like to see everybody set, so but it's you can't do that the whole time.
But I mean, after the show, you just sat in the bar, same building.
True, yeah. But yeah, not watching comedy, which is what I'm kind of there to do, I guess. But
yeah, and where were you at?
What's that?
And where were you having where were you at? After what bar were you at?
Gatsby's Pub, baby.
You got turned into a commercial.
Gatsby's Pub in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, the beautiful old Sunnybrook. Yeah, Gatsby's is nice, man. That's that and Railroad Street in Linfield. Those are like my two happy places. And they do the podcast Mornings with Mike, and they had Mike from Railroad Street on, the owner. I was like, oh man, this is like worlds colliding right now. This is like my two favorite spots. So yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of money in those spots, but
I don't know if this is the same. I don't know if it's the same. I'm pretty sure it is, because one time a bunch of my buddies were going to meet up, and one dude was like, all right, well, let's meet at the Railroad. I was here a few years ago, and it was a pretty cool bar. And I keep saying the R's on the cars.
Yep.
So it reminds me of it. So their marketing does its job.
Oh, yeah.
So we go there, right? And my drink at the time, my go-to drink was either Yuengling. It was a bottle of Yuengling and a shot of Jack Daniels.
It's a good order.
So we go in there. They don't sell Jack Daniels, and they don't sell Yuengling.
What?
Is this?
What are we doing?
I get Yuengling there all the time.
Okay. I'm thinking of a different bar.
I mean,
Maybe.
unless this was maybe they were, I don't know, maybe they were out of all their beer.
No, they were like, we don't sell that. I had to get Corona.
Okay. Well, yeah, they do have a lot of craft specialty beers and stuff like that. But no, I mean, I go in there, I get a lager.
This might have
all the
been
time.
at the time. Like, how long ago was it?
5, 6 years, 4 or 5 years ago, 5 years ago.
It's possible.
I felt like, they switched over. Now they want like the IPA crowd, like the young hip crowd.
Yeah.
They don't want us grizzled old bar veterans
Shouted.
It's
drinking Jack Daniels straight.
It's not a very fancy spot.
Nah, maybe I'm thinking of something else. But I'm pretty sure it was the Railroad.
You know what you're thinking?
Give me a glass of whiskey.
You're thinking Craft Ale House.
Nah, did this place have? Did the girls used to have shirts that say "Let's get railed" or something at the Railroad like years ago?
Probably.
Like before this new
Yeah, I don't know. I could.
classiness.
I mean, if they had Corona, I would imagine that they would have had Yuengling and
I don't know, and no Jack Daniels either. I felt like it was either.
Yeah,
I was
no
like,
No
Jack.
Crown?
I was like, oh, they don't want us here. That's what it is, or they don't want our crowd here.
Nah, because they got Jack and J-Mo, and I think they got all that stuff.
This might be a different bar.
It might be. I'm not
Where's your bar
disparaging any
located
bars.
at?
It's Linfield, like Limerick, Linfield.
I don't remember, bro.
So where's the bar you went
Just
to?
shitting on a
I
bar.
don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was.
Right. Could have been a whole different thing.
Nah, I will say I used to love going to the Craft Ale House. You guys ever been there?
Never heard of it.
Nah.
So that's like right on Ridge Pike, that I guess that's considered Limerick too. But they don't have any hard liquor or anything like that. It's all craft beer and stuff. And like I think everybody makes the mistake when they first go in. Like I went in and I ordered, like my wife wanted like a vodka and cranberry, and I went and ordered that, and like it was like the record stopped. You know what I mean? Like everybody just
I'm that
looked at
guy.
me like I'm the asshole, and I was just like, they're like, yeah, we don't have any of that here, just beer. And it's like, shit, And then there's been a couple instances there. They're very weird. So they have a burger. You can get anything you want on the burger, anything you want. You can get a fried egg on it. You can get, red onions, lettuce, tomato, whatever you want on it. My wife orders a salad, and she wants red onions on her salad, and they're like, let me talk to the chef. And it's like, come on. So like they made a big deal of it, and they're like, oh yeah, they said they'll do it, but we don't usually do it. Then they bring it out again. Same thing. Hey, we don't usually do it, but we did it for you. Da, da, da. It's like, thanks for the fuck. It's red onion, dude. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, you're acting like I asked for like lobster on top or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's ignorant.
So yeah, I don't really go there much anymore. But I've heard that from a few people. Not to shit on any businesses, but I mean their stuff is good. They got good food and stuff. But
I mean, fuck 'em.
I can't get into the craft beers. You're a fan of the craft beers?
I was for a while, but I
IPAs.
drank so much of it that like I can't process it as much as I used to. Like now I need to drink lighter beer. I love Yingling is a go-to.
Dude,
Like
all
Yuengling
them
all day.
IPAs taste disgusting to me.
Yeah,
I cannot.
I got a bit about it.
Everybody's like, "Oh, well, have you tried this one?" It all tastes like a fucking grapefruit took a shit.
Bad
on a
grapefruit.
fucking-
Yeah.
I used to be that guy. I used to be like, hey, I'll find you one you like. I would be like, listen, you don't like it? I'll find you the one you like. You know, like that was. But I drank so much of it, like I literally, it's just like it fucks with me to the point where like I drink one of those pounders, I feel so full. But I mean, I could drink a half a bottle of tequila, like no problem.
Right.
I'm not a drinker either, so like I don't like the taste at all. Like I hate
Okay.
the taste of alcohol.
Really?
I'll drink it.
That's a good thing.
I'll drink it for special occasions like company Christmas party.
Yeah.
Get as many Coronas as I can. I'll walk around with 6 Coronas just because it's free.
Yeah. Open bar, wedding.
Yeah. I'll piss myself and throw up on everything. I don't give a fuck.
Where's
Free.
the fucking funnel in this place?
Yeah, like,
Get me a funnel in a tube.
Employee of the Year runner-up 7 years in a row.
Let me tell Andrew our Dice story. So, me and Chris go to see Dice Clay at Soul Joe's when he was down in temporarily at Norristown at the Westover Golf Club.
Okay.
He had Dice there,
That's awesome.
right? So me and Chris go. So we partake on what we partake in on the ride there, right? And then we go inside. And me, being me, I know my own limits, right? I'm not thinking about him. I'm figuring he's down to party. We're partying. So we get it going on the way there. Then we get to the place. We go up. We got to buy drinks. So I'm like, I ask him what he wants to drink, knowing he's already cool. He doesn't need
Nothing else.
to add any alcohol because he's not a drinker.
Yeah.
But I'm in party mode now.
Right.
Right.
You can go all night.
It's Dice, baby.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? Hickory dickory dock.
Oh yeah.
So I go up to the bar and I say, let me get a Jack and Coke and a rum and Coke. And the guy says, do you want doubles? And that's a good idea. I hate getting up back and forth. Yeah, make them doubles.
Always.
Right? So we get back, I get mine, I'm sipping it, having a good time. Dice comes on. I look over, he's like this. He only drank this much of his rum and Coke. But that was enough. The whole show, he's leaning on me. I'm hitting him. He's leaning on me. I'm hitting him. I'm praying Dice says something. But he doesn't.
Way in the back though, so we're good.
He probably thought you were like paraplegic or some shit. He's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
like, this guy's special needs. I'm not gonna diss him.
We went to, dude. I got problems with anything like that. Like as soon as like the show starts or the lights go dim or something, like we went and saw Deer Hunter, the movie Deer Hunter. You know,
Yeah.
in Phoenixville at this one old theater.
Colonial.
Passed out. Dude, I fell asleep at this concert I went to a couple weeks ago.
You fell asleep at a concert?
I fell asleep at the Peter Gabriel concert. I was.
All right, I understand
It was
that.
like so boring at
my-
some point.
My brother's wedding song.
So like
In Your Eyes or whatever.
Like,
it is.
well, those songs, but he played like a bunch of songs I never heard. I just wanted to hear the hits.
Yeah.
You're 8
Your
years
Eyes.
old.
Is, yeah, that's a.
Stop playing your brand new album that nobody cares. I want to hear the hits.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you
I
about
had
the
to listen to a bunch of shit.
the best concert I never saw. So, my buddy got us tickets to go see Roger Waters do the Wall
Okay.
in Philly. So,
I saw that. It was
yeah,
I wasn't there.
Citizens Bank or whatever, right?
no,
Was it?
not
Yeah.
at that one. Not I didn't go to.
No,
that
I think this was
I was
Citizens Bank.
I was at the one in Camden, but whatever.
So we are we're fucking hyped, dude. Like all day, we get there way too early and start tailgating, like way too early, 4 or 5 hours before the show. So we're just drinking all day. He ends up cutting his foot with like a beer bottle, and then we're good. Like we're still gonna go in. Like everything's fine. The tipping point was the weed brownie. So like, you know, I was fine. I was eating them all day. I was ready to go, man. Like, so my buddy, we eat this before we're about to go in, and dude, he was done. Like he was laying in the passenger seat of his car, which was stick. I didn't know how to drive stick, so I couldn't even drive us out of there or anything. Security's coming around. I'm like, dude, let's go. It's the middle of July. It's hot as shit. So like I couldn't even leave him in the car with like the windows up because I couldn't even work the windows. I guess I'm fucking retarded. I don't know how to work. I don't know how to work a stick at all. I couldn't even put the fucking windows down because I would have left him in the car, locked him in there. I would have went to the concert. But no, I'm like, if I do that, he'll die. He will die in the heat. Like it was so hot out.
Or he'll be arrested.
Or he'll be arrested because security was coming around, right? And they're like, you know, they're at this point they're making sure nobody's really in the lot. So I ended up like waving down a taxi, getting his ass. We got the fuck out of there. Took a taxi from Philly all the way to Phoenixville, and it was like at the time it was maybe like $100 or whatever. So it actually wasn't that bad. But it was just like he was just at that point like throwing up everywhere, dude. It was a nightmare. And at one point in the very beginning of the concert, the show's starting. I can hear the music. I can hear the crowd. And I'm like, dude, that is the show. Do you hear the show? That is the show starting. Get up. Like, I was like,
oh, man.
And I couldn't get him up. I guess I maybe could have tried to get a wheelchair for him. Or I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you tell me. What the fuck would you do?
Drop him off at the medical tent. I'll be right back.
It wasn't even like maybe if it was a Grateful Dead concert or something, I could have, you know, brought him down to what's that?
If it was at Veterans Stadium, it would be okay. But at Citizens Bank, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, it was all.
They had a jail at Veterans Stadium.
Yeah.
They probably still have the jail at the Link.
Yeah, but it's not spoken of.
Yeah.
Everybody knew about the jail at Veterans.
Did you see the guy get?
He got his ass.
Oh my God! Yeah, he got speared. The dude after the game got on the field at the Phillies game, and he was running across the field, and he's just like, I guess he's running towards the dugout in the outfield, and he didn't see this dude coming out of nowhere, like a security guard. He was running faster than I've seen anybody on that field run the entire night, and he speared the dude. Oh my God, dude! He took him down. It was an amazing tackle, actually.
That is.
I missed that.
You could always watch it. It's everything's on the internet.
Not to get too much into Philly sports. Now Eagles got Julio.
Oh yeah.
What do you guys think of that move?
I put that on Facebook earlier.
I threw him on my fantasy team.
I did too.
Why not?
Scooped him up. Immediately scooped him up. I got rid of Devontae Foreman, who was like, because long story short, he was supposed to be like the only Bear left.
Right.
Like all their running backs were hurt. And he still didn't do shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, you're out.
Yeah. That happened with me and Joshua Kelly because I got Eckler this year. And I'm an idiot, man. I went Eckler over McCaffrey.
I got McCaffrey on my one team.
Dude, you're
somebody played I guess Eckler came back last week though. I don't know
how. He's back. He shit the bed. He didn't do much at all.
Oh,
I lost by 10 points. I was so pissed.
Give him a chance to get
yeah, I know. It's his first game back. But, you know, he was probably ready to come back, but they had the bye week, so they gave him that extra week off. But
anyway,
fucking fantasy football drives me up a wall. You know what's nice? Best ball. You ever play best ball?
No.
Best ball is cool because you just draft, and then you don't have to worry about setting your lineup. So, like, instead of doing mock drafts in the beginning of the year, I'll just do a shit ton of best ball drafts for like $1 or $5. And then, you know, it sets your lineup each week with, you know, whoever scored. So, you know, you got to kind of be smart with your draft. But it's cool because instead of mock drafting in a free draft where people are just fucking around, you know, you put a couple bucks in and people kind of take it seriously, you know?
I'm in 2 money leagues. One of them used to not be, but then I guess all of a sudden everybody wants to play for money, make it interesting.
Yeah, it makes it fun.
Plus,
we're not actually playing for money though, people.
Theoretically, though, because I've been in leagues for fun, and then people just don't care anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you're playing for money, try to set your lineup. Like I screwed up 2 weeks ago and took out I didn't take out Amon-Ra St. Brown from Detroit, and I got 0 points. And the guy got mad, and I would have beat him if I took him out. It's fantasy football, man. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, I was mad that he ended up not playing because it was like middle of the week.
Right.
They said he was questionable, I think, on Thursday or something. He ended
screwed.
up getting hurt.
I
Yeah.
lost.
Yeah, I got St. Brown too. We sound like we got the same team, dude.
But as far as the Phillies,
They just lost. Phillies lost. Arizona scored in the 9th.
That's okay. You know what? Made it interesting. We're still up 2 games.
Yeah.
You know, there's going to be a game 5, I guess.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do? It'll make it interesting.
I didn't think they were going to sweep them, so, that's the one. That's the one they took.
I was talking to a truck driver today, and he was like, "Yeah, about the Phillies." So I was like, "Yeah, last night the other game was exciting." He was like, "Yeah, I hope whatever happens, I hope they win tonight." But then he started going through all these different scenarios about this, if
Parlays.
Houston, no, if Houston wins, and who else? Houston, if they win, they win.
Rangers.
Yeah,
Well, they're going against
home. Then he's talking about playing first.
the first playoff game.
Yeah, at the home field advantage.
Well,
I
if
guess it's
Houston,
called, right?
Oh, right.
if it's Houston, we got
Yeah.
home field advantage. If it's the Rangers,
Then we don't.
They have home
Right,
field
right.
advantage.
Right. He was going in all this crazy shit, and I was like, "Yeah, bro, I don't." Okay, it'd be nice, but you lost me.
It's very simple.
Bring it back to the park, man. That would be.
I'm not a sports guy. I'm a comedy guy.
I hear you.
So I have a comedy podcast.
That's true. Sorry, people. We got really deep in the sports
Yeah,
there
yeah.
for a
Well,
while.
we got to get into all different topics.
Yeah,
We're gonna
we
do-
changed it up a little bit.
Enough about you. I'm just kidding.
Enough about what?
Enough about him.
God forbid Chris don't get 5 minutes to talk on.
Let's
the
talk about
microphone.
Israel and Palestine. That's the one thing we're not going to talk about.
Yeah.
Unless you guys want to.
Well, let's.
You don't do a lot of politics.
Well,
do
we
you?
don't talk about
What's
politics.
funny in
We're
there?
considering Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Well, let's find the funny in the Israel-Palestine conflict. Where's the funny? There's something funny in everything. Where's the funny in that?
Iron Dome.
I don't know.
There's something there.
Pretty touchy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, that's
Views and opinions.
Like everything's on fire. If they control the weather, why don't they just make it rain?
true. Maui.
Yeah.
Still, these ants, we're living in a simulation. Who knows what the fuck's real anymore? I mean, it's crazy the way artificial intelligence. Like, have you guys ever fucked around with some of that art generator and stuff?
Nah.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. Like, you could put in you want Joe Biden riding a camel in the middle of Maui, and it'll just generate a picture. And it's pretty crazy. Now, what's weird is if you wanted to write actual words or numbers or anything, it puts it as if you're in a dream. So when you look at the picture, it's fucking weird. It's wonky.
Does it look almost cartoony?
It does look a little bit cartoony, and then sometimes the faces will be fucked up. So the eyes will be they look almost like demon-esque. It's very, very weird. But yeah, it's strange stuff. The simulation theory is. Are you guys aware of the simulation theory? Is this something that you
No,
have
but
heard of?
I'm interested to hear what it is, though.
Well, it's basically that we live in a simulation. So the odds of us actually living in base reality are 1 in a billion or whatever it is. I don't know. So Elon Musk believes that we live in a simulation.
See, that's where they lose me with all that kind of shit.
Where's base reality?
Where is base reality? Exactly. So you wouldn't even know it if you were in it. It's I don't know. The more you look into it, the more you read into it and watch YouTube videos. And again, none of this stuff's good for your brain, people. It's just I have holes in my brain. Mm-hmm. Don't smoke out of tinfoil when you're in high school. Yeah, but no, it's one of those things where it's actually believed by a lot of scholars and scientists that we're most likely living in some sort of a simulation.
Nice.
A simulation of what?
Of what we believe to be reality.
So that's where these people this shit. Like, they barely got me believing in aliens, right?
Oh, I don't believe in aliens anymore now that the government told you that there are aliens.
Yeah. They almost got me believing in aliens, but then they start saying they're interdimensional and all this shit, and that's the kind of shit that makes me be like, all right, man. Like, just telling me they're from another planet.
Well, here's the thing. Like, what if somebody does know, right? Like, what if there's, like, that's the great secret, right? Like, what if there is, like, a book or something somewhere that, like, gives these things out, but it's like, we can't know it, right? But it's like somebody has it. I don't know.
Well, I feel like it's like, oh, these people want aliens. Just give them the fucking aliens already. Give them the fucking aliens. Let them say, okay, there's aliens. Big fucking deal. And they'll never... Most people won't even pay attention.
It worked.
Most people won't. And after we tell them, like you said, they're going to be like, I don't believe it.
Yeah, nobody cares
Believe
anymore.
everything the government tells you. As soon as the government, they'll believe, and then be like, oh, really?
Yeah.
It's all psyop. Well, that's the thing. It's becoming more and more difficult to know what is real and what is fake, right?
Yeah.
So, you can watch a video, and that video can get, 2.3 million views in 10 seconds. And then, a redacted version comes out, or it comes out later that didn't actually happen that way. But still 2.3 million people saw it. And if 50% of them learned that it wasn't real, the other 50% still thought it was real, right? So, it's one of those things where the deep fakes and shit, stuff's going to get wild, man. Like, it's going to get...
Yeah.
Dude, 2024 is going to be fucking nuts.
That's why I try
Buckle
not to get into any of the videos you see on, Reddit or wherever, YouTube or whatever. I'll wait till they're on the History Channel or Discovery Channel or something, because then experts have looked and seen if it's photoshopped or any of that bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how true it is, but cause I don't fucking know. But Facebook apparently had these two AI bots, a girl and a guy they named with a feminine voice, I guess, and a masculine voice, and they apparently started talking to each other in some kind of language they came.
Oh, that they made up.
And that I don't know if that's real or not.
That's their love language.
Listen to this shit.
They cut them out. They cut the program because they started talking to each other because they didn't. And
could you imagine that? See, that's their simulation. That was their simulation. They lived for a brief time. They fell in love, and somebody pulled the fucking plug on them. Right. Could you imagine that shit?
I seen this video on Reddit, man, and I didn't understand why people were like, "Oh, AI's scary. I'm scared of AI."
Yeah.
But this shit made me be like, "This is why people are scared of AI." This lady, I think it was in Japan. She was a scientist. She said they had, I think, 4 AI robots, right? Either 2 or 3 of them, I think 3 of them killed humans with projectile guns somehow.
They all default to saying that they want to end humans. Like, if it came down to it, they would end humans. Like, there's been multiple
that's what they say,
robots that have been created. Yeah, where they say that stuff. Yeah.
Well, a couple of these robots, AI robots, killed people, right? So they disassembled them and they were fine. But one searched and found a rogue satellite that it could download the info to fix itself on. Did you hear this or see this?
No, but this is like the type of stuff that could happen.
Right.
That's insane. Yeah. Like, if it becomes that kind of sentient where it is able to maneuver and be like, listen, this is my mission. I'm going to accomplish this mission no matter what. So say their mission is right now the mission is 0 carbon footprint, right? Mm-hmm. We want to have 0 carbon footprint. Well, what if to have 0 carbon footprint, there can't be any fucking people driving cars and going to work and farting and shitting? They'll fucking kill everybody, right? So it's hey, you got 0 carbon emissions and everybody's fucking dead.
Well, there's a book, an older book about this, and it's they use AI to run a paperclip company, I think, or something like that.
Okay.
And I'm forgetting the whole, all the 100% details of it is, but the bottom line is the AI figures out you need iron to make the paper clips, and there's iron in human blood, so they just start killing humans to get the iron in their blood to make paper clips.
It's like a shortcut for them.
Yeah, like I forget what it is, but
Yeah, like people are. I do it all the time. I'm sure you guys do it all the time. You think of the shortcut, right? Like, what's the fastest way for me to get through traffic today? Like, what's the fastest way for me to do this? Like, you don't want to have any extra time or whatever. Like, you want to kind of find the shortcut in everything. Right? That's what people are designed to do.
Yeah.
That is what AI would do too, right? Like, it's like find the shortcut. Like, all right, this is my mission. I don't know if you guys are Rick and Morty fans. You ever watch Rick and Morty?
I know it. I've watched it.
Yeah, so Rick and Morty's pretty good because there's actually an episode where they like put Summer, which is like, you know, the sister, Morty's sister, like, they put her in the ship and they tell the ship, hey, ship, keep Summer safe. So that's their mission, like keep Summer safe. So like this guy comes up to like ask like what time it is. And then, like, it just evaporates the guy on the spot, you know? And then, like, it ends up at the end of the episode, like, the military is coming in and the ship is just, like, fucking killing everybody and destroying everything.
Right.
But that is kind of where it goes. There was actually a CEO, I don't know what the company was, but he just came out and said, like, there's a 10 to 25% chance that keep going with AI the way they are, that it will end the world. A 10 to 25% chance.
Wow.
Yeah. But they're going to keep going with it anyway because they know somebody else is going to do it. Like, they're just going to keep going.
Yeah, they're going to push the limits until...
Well, I think eventually, too, it'll be like, hey, why do you need an actor? Because you can just make a movie with AI, right? Like, I want this movie with this ending and these characters, and it could just generate it, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, if it becomes to the point where it's so indistinguishable, like...
Well, with that face swap technology, they really don't need actors anymore.
Yeah.
Like, really.
Yeah, and then there's stuff for your sound bites, too. So, like, you can... what's the company? It's called something 11. Cloud 11 or something. But you can actually take somebody's voice. So, say you take, I could just take, like, a sound bite of, like, Chris Farley. And then I could type in whatever I want, and it would be like pump it out just as if Chris Farley was saying, in his cadence and everything. And then you can, you could alter certain things, make it where he's yelling or make it where he's.
I've been listening to a lot of old school hip hop songs that they will have different people do.
Yeah.
Like they'll have Biggie Smalls do a Tupac song. There's a lot of that. A lot of Tupac doing this guy's song,
right?
Whatever. It's mind blowing. You can barely tell the difference.
Did you hear the Taylor Swift song? If her and Kelsey or Travis Kelce break up?
Nah.
I hate to bring this up because it's on every fucking show. That the two of them.
Sorry,
it's good for the algo, right?
Right.
But no, it's like there's a song that they put out. It's like, hey, when they break up, like here's the song that Taylor Swift will write, and it was amazing because it was just like. You made it to the 50 and you said you love me and you went to the 40 and it's like and it literally is like holy shit, yeah, that's exactly what the fucking song would be that she would write. Like it's
wow.
So funny. But yeah, AI it's taking over to that point where I mean a lot of things are definitely in jeopardy.
Can't do everything though.
One good thing humans are funny at.
I don't know. You need to hook up some equipment for some of the stuff I think you're thinking of.
Can they like, what are they going to replace everybody at work? Are they going to teach them how to like break balls and like?
Right. Yeah, I like how
I heard your motherboard blows circuits.
Like, the corporate world wouldn't even want that shit though. Like they'd want to wean out all like the human personality that like makes work
was
fun.
A snowblower.
He just wanted to do his bit.
Yeah, I did.
That's a bit.
It's a good bit. It's a good bit.
We can stop it.
You got to throw in the.
Nah, one thing AI can't do is, I don't think be as clever as humans. Kelsey and Taylor Swift. Did you see all the jerseys lined up?
Yes. Yeah.
Kelsey, Cox, Hurts, Swift.
Yep.
Best thing ever. Best thing ever.
Yeah, AI would have a tough time doing that. It would have to like find those people wearing those jerseys, kill all of them, line them up perfectly.
They need the jersey. I needed them to stay in like this,
Hey, we need you to come up with a funny meme this week.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, AI, man. They can't do anything about podcasts, so they can't take over podcasts.
Nah. I couldn't type in somebody to sit over there and be you.
Nope.
Nah. Are you sure about that?
I'm 100%. You
Okay.
can't. No AI can recreate what I have.
Okay.
What if Stephen Hawking just had AI like way before everybody else?
Right.
Everybody just thought he was a fucking genius,
Yeah.
but he just cracked the code on AI.
And that's what he picked, though.
Somebody write this down. That's actually not. Yeah, that's actually. Yeah, that's funny.
Stephen Hawking.
And what he picked, that voice and all that.
Yeah, just to be like, yeah, look how primitive this stupid shitty computer is. I have to fucking type in everything, but really he had AI like, 30 years before everybody else.
Where he could have just.
So everybody's like, this guy's a fucking genius, and it's like he's actually just using AI to sound like a genius.
He could have sounded all. You're saying he could have sounded really eloquent and smart with a normal voice because he had AI. But he chose
the shittier voice
to have the speak and spell voice.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to dumb it down a little bit.
There's something there, yeah. True. You don't want to sound too smart.
Yeah.
I run into that problem too with this guy.
Well, I would want one with like a slight British, just the slightest British.
Like the
sound more
GPS.
distinguished.
Yeah, like Andrew Tate.
Yeah, I want a slightly distinguished voice.
Yeah, what is
Sound
that?
Smarter.
Yeah, why do they sound that way?
So,
Why does that
not
appeal
too
to us
hardcore,
so
but
much?
like I don't want no Cockney voice.
It does make him sound
And that-
smarter.
Yeah, I don't want none of that shit. But I want to look. Yeah, just the slightest, like Hugh, the guy that had the
Like
tranny-
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant. Yeah,
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant voice. It sounds more distinguished.
like a Michael Caine,
Yeah.
something like that.
You know what? No, because sometimes he's hard to understand a little bit. Like he throws on that. He's got the thick accent.
There's a bit where there's two guys doing their Michael Caine impressions, like back and forth to each other. Do you ever see that?
No.
On YouTube? Oh, it's on YouTube. They do a skit. I forget what it's from. It's fucking funny.
I remember.
Search that up.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the Asians doing Christopher Walken?
No.
I seen a compilation. It was pretty funny.
Every
gotta check
comedian
that out.
has a Christopher Walken impersonation. That's what I've heard.
Well, let's hear it.
You can't put me on the spot.
What? You're a comic
Yeah, but I'm just
on a
saying.
podcast.
You got to prep.
You're a comic on a podcast.
Yeah. Well, you do yours first.
I don't do impressions.
Yeah, I was trying to think. I feel like I used to do impressions, and now I actually don't have any now. I'm like, I feel like when I was a kid, I would do them because I probably didn't give a
I
fuck.
don't-
But now I'm
Yeah.
like-
I don't do impressions. That's my Christopher Walken. That's about all I got.
Okay.
Okay.
Not bad, bro.
Not bad.
Not bad. Impressions.
Connery, you got a Sean Connery. Anybody?
All my Sean Connery is just pussy.
Oh, pusher.
Pussy.
She bent over and showed me a pusher.
Shaken, not stirred. I sounded more like him.
But
I'll
impressions.
stick with my Christopher Walken.
Good impressions impress me, really. Like Jay Farrow right now, he's real good. Frank
Yeah.
Caliendo.
Dan Soder. You ever hear? Oh, yeah.
Soder.
He's got some great impressions. He's a killer, dude.
It blows my mind, dude.
Yeah, and they can turn it on so quickly.
Yeah.
But then, it's stuff that you've been working on forever. I wish I could do a Trump. Because
Yeah.
I think Trump's funny.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
fun.
He's fun.
I do admire people that they could do a good Trump.
Yeah.
I think even a bad Trump is good, though.
It's kind of funny if you can get the hands down. Like, Shane Gillis has one of the best Trumps.
He
right?
explains how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This room, great room, better than any room I've ever been in. Like, but he's got that.
When I come
That
in, I said,
inflection where
this is a great room.
And I know great rooms.
When I first came, yeah, see, it is amazing that they can just turn it on like that. Trump is one that I think I would never be able to do. I feel like I could do like I don't want to do it, but like a Green Day, like I sit around and watch the tunes, but nothing's on.
Yeah, see, that sounds good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Like that sort of a thing. Very nasally though.
It is
That's
nasal.
like kind of easy to do, I guess. Though it's like
I do my Seinfeld. That's about all. I got my Seinfeld and I got my Christopher Walken and my Dangerfield. But I don't.
if you start off with a "What's the deal?" What's the deal? Like you got it.
Yeah.
Like you're hitting it.
I used to do Tracy Morgan.
Oh, I
Done
want to
it
hear
a
the
long
Morgan.
time. I used to just say, "Somebody go get pregnant up in here."
That's pretty good. I like that. That's decent, man. You got to do that on stage now.
That was more of a statement, so I hope you guys are ovulating. At least one of you is ovulating.
No, I'm on that period.
Cool. Chris has been wanting his Red Wing.
Yeah, that's why we're drinking the Surfside, right?
We were talking about impressions, and I thought of an old story. Do you guys remember Rich Little? Do you ever hear of Rich Little?
He was like the original
Yeah.
guy.
That name rings a bell. I don't know if I've ever actually seen any of that comedy.
In the 80s,
He did impressions?
In the 70s,
Yeah,
shoot.
he was the man. Well, my aunt, God rest her soul, she ran into a Rich Little impersonator who was so good that he tricked her into thinking
It was him.
he was the real Rich Little. She probably gave him some pussy. I'm not saying she did or she didn't.
This is Arlene.
It was pussy to die for.
If it was Arlene, I would have said I have a cunt aunt.
That's what I was.
And I would have been like, she slobbed his knob right there in the parking lot. 20 people watching, $20 each. They all lined up for that fucking pig. No, this was an aunt that I loved.
Nice.
No.
Well, Rich Little.
And you can't say her name. I got to bleep her name out. Now I got to say I'm going to bleep her name out.
Jerry puts it on
Tootie.
Facebook all the time.
I know, but now I got to say I'm going
Unless
to
we gotta
bleep her
bleep
name
that.
out.
I don't
and
know
not
if-
say it, not do it.
Does all you garbage guys have Aunt Tootie
Yeah.
copyrighted by now yet? Probably.
But Rich Little would do the impressions he did were like of people like way before our time. Like he did the standards from back then. Richard Nixon, like Howard Cosell, all those people that cares about now. But
Well,
he was great at it though for the time.
But that's all that shit people say before your time. I don't feel like there was a time that was before my time because of like reruns and
Well,
shit.
we're
Like-
cultured though. We didn't go to
But hold on,
school.
but it's
Well,
not. It's not
watched
culture.
a lot of TV.
How old are you, Andrew?
It's true. 35.
35.
Yeah.
Okay, we're a little bit older.
Right.
Just not
All right. I have to say my age, but nobody else will say
Just
it.
not much. Now I'm 49.
47.
Right. So
You guys
growing
both
up,
look better than me.
thanks. But growing up in the late 70s and the early to mid 80s and not having cable, only having 3 or 5 channels, whatever there was. All those old movies of all the people Rich Little was doing, all those movies were on Saturday and Sunday. In the summertime, they were on in the afternoon. Or there was all the old TV shows from the 50s and 60s. And then all the shows from the 70s and 80s were on in reruns in the early 80s. So, like, yeah, I wasn't alive when Happy Days was on, or I wasn't watching TV when Happy Days came on. But I seen every fucking episode. You know what I mean?
Oh no, no doubt.
So like it's
There's hundreds of
before
shows
our
like that.
times. Like there is
But us-
1800s is before
Right,
our
but
times.
there are people like that aren't as cultured.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. My wife,
Has no fucking clue.
like, I'll say something like Hogan's Heroes, and she'll be like, "Huh?" She'll be like, what's the thing Schultze says? I know nothing.
Yeah.
She don't know what that means.
MASH. Reading the MASH.
Yeah,
MASH.
MASH.
I've watched a little bit of MASH.
So-
I've watched every. I love MASH.
And that's stuff that I like, post now. Like if I watch it, I can appreciate it. Like I do
Right.
think it's funny and I can appreciate it. But that was before my time. Like I'd say the oldest I go is like, Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
Like that was
yeah.
good shit. I'm trying to think. I mean, for me, I liked, we would watch TGIF on a Friday night, sit down
Right.
and watch Family Matters, Step by Step. Those were like the sitcoms back then. I feel like those were way better than what comes out nowadays.
Oh,
but
100%. But like in the,
nostalgia too.
in the summertime, like Leave It to Beaver would be on.
Yeah.
Remember Leave It to Beaver? Did you ever watch
I
it?
never got into Leave It to Beaver, but it was Nick at Night for me. Like after, Hey Arnold was over and Rugrats and all that shit was over. Like, you know, I think I Love Lucy would come on, which like it was okay. Like I wasn't really into I Love Lucy.
Yeah, I used to watch it.
It was all right. What was the other one that would come on? Nick at Night. I'm trying to think. There was a couple of them that I would actually just end up watching. And you kind of end up liking them just because, you know, you're up late.
Nostalgic.
You're like kind of hiding out, like trying to stay up as late as possible and just watch whatever's on TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Nickelodeon would just be on by default at that point.
Even Leave It to Beaver, like it's tough to reference. Like Jerry used to call me Eddie Haskell.
Eddie Haskell,
because
yeah.
I'd come into your house and I'd be like,
you did not. My dad would not have tolerated you being around there so much, being an Eddie Haskell.
well, no, because I'd say,
Yeah,
hey,
hi,
Mrs. M, hello,
I
Mr.
know,
M,
yeah.
and he never said nothing.
Because he probably knew you were being funny about it.
Happy Days was what I was thinking of, and they did a little bit of that stuff too, right? Like hi, like wasn't that Fonzie's thing? Like
Mr.
Yeah.
Mr. C, Mrs. C.
Yeah.
But I was a TV watching motherfucker. I would stay up all night long and just watch.
Ah, me too. When people would be like, dude, summer book reading, like, dude, I never read any of that shit. I cheated off everybody. I was always like in the hall, like writing down, like, you know, somebody would have the worksheet done, and it was just like it would get passed around the hall to everybody. You know what I mean?
I don't even know if we had summer book reading.
Really?
If they did, I never paid attention to it.
You didn't even buy the book. I would buy the book, maybe get the Cliff Notes, highlight some stuff.
You know what? I don't believe the school we went to provided summer.
Or even like in middle school and shit. Like I never did none of that shit. I was terrible.
We went to what they called the annex school.
It was an alternative school for
I think
crumbs and pieces of shit.
didn't Anne Frank go there too?
Possibly.
Yo, I called.
Juju.
I had to call the school we went to. One of my nephews was trying to get back into school, and I figured that would be a good fit for him. It didn't work out. But anyway,
Like my kid.
I called to talk to somebody about trying to get him in there. And the principal was an old teacher that I had. So when I started talking to her, I forget her exact words, but she was hinting around to if I've ever been arrested. But she wasn't coming out right and saying it. So I was just like, got quiet for a minute. I was like, oh no, I've never been arrested. She was
Did
like,
you ever make
"Oh,
liquor
okay,
in a
okay."
bedpan? She's like asking, you ever make a shiv out of a toothbrush?
Yeah, she was hilarious.
What are you trying to ask me?
She was hilarious. I'm pretty sure she's still around. Shout out Miss Simpkins. But she had like sayings for everything. And like, you know, everybody's boy crazy and girl crazy. So one of her sayings was, romance with no finance is a nuisance. But she would say it like she would say it. And I don't want to say it like that.
You got pretty close, I think.
Yeah. One time,
I got the point, I think. Yeah, that was good.
she came in with a fur coat one time, right? Came in, you know, strutting, showing off on purpose, like strutting and shit. Took it off, put it in front of her desk. Went and started teaching, and I was like, that's a nice jacket in front of the whole class. I said, that's a nice coat. I said, is it rabbit? She looked at me. She was like, mm-hmm. I was like, rabbit dog. Everybody cracked up. She was pretty good.
Comedy.
Did the drapes match the fur coat? Oh!
Oh, she had a Jerry curl. I don't want to see her drapes.
Those are probably more like roast beef curtains.
Oh, shit.
Anyway.
So yeah, man. Andrew comes up, Soul Joe's every week. He's up there,
Yeah, it's a good time.
knocking him out every week, and along with me and Chris.
Yeah, come on out.
You have
Free shows, 7 o'clock. Appreciate you guys doing this.
your new podcast.
Yeah, talk about your new podcast and
Yeah, so me
up
and
with
one
it?
of the other open micers, Jeremy Hubsher.
Another host, actually.
Yeah, another host. That's right. So you guys host, and then Dylan is the fourth host. So, but yeah, we're going to be starting a podcast. The first episode is going to be out on Monday, the 23rd, I guess it would be. That's next week. So this will come out Tuesday. So you guys will have already missed it, but it's already out. So check it out.
no, this will come out on Monday. We come out on Monday.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mondays 6 p.m. Every Monday at 6 p.m. It'll be coming out. It's the Jeremy and Andrew show, and yeah, it's you know, it's a good time. We just got it started. So
man.
check it out. If you like it, let us know, like and subscribe. And, if we see that people like it, we'll do a lot more. But, it's a fun time no matter what. So it's good.
Where's it? Are you going to have your own YouTube page for it?
Yeah, it's on the AndrewG.comedy YouTube page.
Okay.
And then it's the podcast that'll be attached to there. And then I think Jeremy will have his YouTube page. I think he'll be shooting it out too. So we'll kind of be double dipping a little bit. So
right on. So check out the Andrew and I got it right here. Check out the Andrew and Jeremy show over there on the YouTubes. Like and subscribe it. Like and subscribe to the Crumb Show. And calm down, Chris. Calm down. Take a deep breath. I got this. I'm a professional. Okay. But we got a new show alert, people.
Nice.
The Dirty Show, headlined by Ryan Foster, up at Soul Joel's. See the picture up here? But it's starring Jeremy Hubsher, Chris Reynolds, Dylan Eichelberger, and Jesse Marchese, hosted by Ronan Mayock, headlined by Ryan Foster. Friday, November 17th, 2023, Soul Joel's inside Sunnybrook. Doors at 9, show at 9:30. Tickets are only $5 in advance or $15 for VIP. But tickets are $10 at the door, so you might as well get them now. Save yourself some money.
Yeah, $5.
Come out and check us out.
For that.
I know.
Ryan Foster's really funny. He was on the 7 for 7 show that I did a few months back in there.
Nice. I got to get to one of those. Those look like they're fun.
They're a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good. That's a great deal. $7 for 7 comics.
Yeah, you can't beat that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
no, not at all. And I've been victim of it too. Sometimes you're like, I don't know none of these guys, but it's going to be a good show.
Yeah, it's always a good time no matter what.
Yeah. But we need you guys to come out to the Dirty Show, headlined by Ryan Foster, November 17th.
That's right.
Me and Chris will probably make a commercial, probably like a funny 80s movie, 80s cop buddy movie type of thing where
That's right.
Nice.
Chris is the bumbling part of the duo.
Story of my life.
Careful, he might shoot you.
Yeah, right. An office pop. Now, but check out Andrew G over there on YouTube, Instagram, and all that. Chris has his Instagram and Facebooks, right?
That's right.
Follow the Crumb Show. Check out my Instagram, and don't forget about the Dirty Show. And thanks for coming in doing this tonight,
thank
man.
you
We
guys.
appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
And
Phils.
Phillies.
Yeah.
And Phils for sure.
We'll see you at the Super Bowl party. And what's the World Series? The parade.
That's right. Parade. We might have to do something for the parade. But anyway, that's another time.
All right. Check you out next week.